Carolyn King. I'm the chair of SpedPac. For those of you who have come to previous meetings, welcome back. And for those of you who this may be the first meeting for, welcome. SpedPac is the Parent Advisory Council. All of the board members and the officers, we're all parents and we're all volunteers, so we're just like you. We come together once a month to try to offer information, updates on special education in the district. We have a sign-up sheet at the front of the room. If you could please provide us with your name and email address. The email list is something that we use to send out information periodically, sort of workshops and other locations, just sort of helpful flyers, brochures, things of that nature. So it's really helpful if you can give us your email address and then you're connected to that. We also have a website. John St. Amand is the chair of SpedPac, and he's brought us up to the 21st century. We're now on the internet. John's taping these meetings, and he's also been taping the ABA meetings and putting them on YouTube, which you can access through our website. And that's helpful for a lot of parents that can't physically come to these meetings, that they're able to view them by just going onto the website and accessing the videos that way. The website also has the list of our meetings for the entire year, so you can reference that. We'd also like to know from parents whether or not they're getting the flyers home in their kids' backpacks for these meetings, because since we are parents and everybody's information is private, we rely on the district to get those flyers out. So we send them to John Beer's office, and then they go to the special education coordinators. But it's hard for us to know exactly how many flyers are actually reaching parents. I know that some kids are not as diligent about giving their parents everything in the backpack, but it would be helpful for us to know if certain schools are not getting that information to parents, just so that we can directly follow up with them. What I would say is that we have handouts this evening for 2 workshops that I'm going to do. They're sort of smaller workshops. One is a follow-up about the IEP process. Last month we did basic rights and we touched on the IEP a little bit. So I thought it would be helpful to sort of touch on the different sections of the IEP briefly. And then also I'm going to do an introduction to transition services, and that's for children that are 14 years and older. Once you turn 14 in Massachusetts, transition services become part of your special education services and part of the IEP process. So just to help people become familiar with that. Before I begin, I would just say that we also have with us general information sheets, general issue sheets. So if you have an issue that's going on in your child's school or with your child's IEP, we ask that you fill that out. We provide them to John Beer's office, and someone will follow up with you directly. That sort of helps to streamline the meetings themselves and help us address individual family issues by giving them directly to special education services. We also have transportation forms, but hopefully now that we're into February, those aren't as needed right now, but obviously we have those as well. So if anybody has any particular issues that they need to follow up on, we have those forms, and you're welcome to fill them out during the course of this meeting and just leave them with us before you go. This evening, before I do, pardon me?
Are recorded and they're available on YouTube?
Yes.
So what would I search to find them?
You'd go on to the Boston SpedPac website, and then you can access the workshops that way. So if there's been, and they're all up there from earlier in the year as well. If there was one that you missed, you can go back and view it.
Boston what? Excuse me? Boston?
BostonSpedPac.org.
Thank you.
So before I start with the mini workshops, I'll call them this evening, we're going to get an update first from John Beer, who's the Assistant Superintendent for Special Education and Student Services. And then I'm also going to give you a little bit of an introduction about the new assignment process. I was actually asked to participate in the advisory committee that's going to be looking at the assignment process throughout BPS. And I was happy to be invited to do that, because obviously with regard to children with disabilities, we go through a different process with regard to placement. But obviously having us involved in that conversation about assignment and how things could change throughout the district regarding assignment, that we want to make sure that people understand our children's needs and that that's taken into consideration with regard to any decisions that are made on the go forward. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to John Beer for a couple of minutes, and